Look, some days ago, I was in my room and I need to work on a video basically, right? I think to edit one for this YouTube channel. But I really just didn't feel like it. I was in a mood of, man, I just couldn't be bothered basically. I just didn't feel like doing it. But then I realized, wait a bit. Well, this state that I'm in right now of boredom and, well, I associated that with not wanting to work on the task that I needed to do. But I realized, wait a bit. Well, that's not the same state that I will have once I do the thing, because obviously I'm right now in this. Look, let's call it state number one of that I was feeling back then of boredom and all that stuff. Right? That's what I feel right now because of doing the activities that I was doing back then. Now, if I transition and go and work on the task on the video, that's another state. That's state number two. So that's obviously different. State number two and state number one are not the same thing. They're two different things. So I realized, okay, well, obviously when I do this other thing, I will have some other state of mind and I'll actually like doing the thing. So I realized, okay, so we have this problem that we associated our couldn't be bothered kind of moments, kind of don't feel like it moments. We associated that with not wanting to, with thinking that, oh, the work will be boring or this and that. But actually, as I did that and some other things like homework or some other chores or some other tasks or reading, let's say, that I needed to do, that I planned to do, well, I realized, okay, well, once I do these things, even though I didn't feel like doing them before, I actually like them way better once I do get in flow state. And of course, it got to be the right thing you're working on, but I just saw that, okay, once you do get in flow state, you just don't realize how time is passing by. It flies by. It's just so good and so fulfilling. So you need to have this mindset. That's the thing, because if you don't know this, well, if you're not aware of this constantly, you'll obviously not take the actions required to do the thing. Because once you understand this mindset that, okay, it will get better either way, you'll actually not procrastinate, but actually you'll say like, okay, fair enough, let's just go do it. And that's what I've done with that in that moment. I mean, some days ago, maybe 2 days ago or something, that I told you in that story. Oh yeah, and I remember somehow 1.5, maybe 2 years ago, I had this moment. I was in my room and I'm sitting on my sofa, right? And I need to film a video or more. And man, I just really, my mind started to come up with excuses of why not to do it. But then in that moment, I realized, wait a bit, wait a bit. What do you, and I quote, if I remember correctly, what do you mean you don't feel like making videos? You love making videos. I love making videos, right? So I understand, wait, that's a lie. That's a lie, either just because or from the devil, from the enemy that's trying to stop you truly be productive and do good and feel better, right? So point is, I understood, okay, don't listen to the dumb lies that the brain gives you, right? So the enemy, the devil, cannot fully stop you from what you got to do, from what God gave you as your purpose to do, as your task to do, or something in your personal development that makes you feel great and you want to work towards, right? It cannot stop you, because in Luke 10:19, Jesus says, behold, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. So that includes the distractions and the temptations that you feel of missing on the work and of doing the bad habits and all this and that. But and the devil cannot stop you, but he can distract you through these temptations. But once you do understand that you have power and authority over this, well, you start to gain way more control and understand way better this stuff. So finally, you can understand the power you have and start tapping into it. And I know it sounds simple, but it just works that way. So once you understand this, you'll naturally start pointing out, okay, that's a fault from the devil, that's a fault from the enemy, don't listen to it. And yeah, simply as simple as that, right? Understand that God is with you. God is way more powerful. God, and if you listen to him, he will just destroy all the bad thoughts. Philippians 4:14, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So point is, you just listen to God, and you do the right thing, and you resist the devil, and he will flee with all the temptations that he gives you of doing bad things or and procrastinating and doing, let's say, bad habits instead, playing video games, eating junk food, watching some more movies, when in fact it's not the right time for that, man, where it's not healthy for you. That's the thing, and you either way regret it after that. You feel disgusting, right? You feel absolutely guilt and shame, and it's absolutely awful. And if you need more help with how to quit these bad habits, send me a message on Instagram. Let me help you with that. And yeah, and just do these things, and it'll massively just help you, right? So uh, yeah, over time, I saw how by implementing the stuff that I share with you on the channel, and some more things that I can discuss more in detail with you on Instagram, let's say, I just became way more consistent with my physique. I built a great physique, I think, and recently I made even more progress. I became way more disciplined with my diet, with what I eat, how much I eat, and so on. And I still feel kind of nice, but I still, have some cravings of, oh, maybe eat this thing, maybe eat that thing. But no, I just managed to become more disciplined with my diet, with my training, with my physique, with my running, fitness and stuff, and being healthy and truly building a more disciplined mindset. And yeah, I mean, becoming more disciplined with even, for example, this accountability journal stuff. Oh, I actually got it with me. Yeah, good point. I put it in my pocket so that I show you, but basically, so this is before, right? Before, I used to miss so many boxes, right? And this represented basically how disciplined I was. And let's say I wasn't really disciplined. That's the point I'm making. And I was having quite some bad habits. So this was before, right? When I missed many boxes, as you see here. And actually, nice, you can finally see. Very good. I'm grateful for the lighting because it's kind of nice, so you can see. But then after that, basically, I started to tick basically every single box, right? So look at this. I basically got way more consistent, and over time, and these are basically months and months and months of just straight wins, right? Of doing the things that I said to myself that I gotta do daily, right? So the good habits and the work that I need to do, the task, well, here they are, got them done, basically daily, all of them. And I didn't used to be like that before, but with time I just became so much more consistent because of the stuff I do. So it's so good. And also I'm pretty consistent with this YouTube channel as well. So I know the stuff that I'm telling you, it's working. So if you just apply it, bro, please don't let this video be another one that you say, oh yeah, it's a great video, and then after that you come again in 6 months and rewatch it and you think, oh wait, I didn't actually implement anything and I just wasted my 6 months, right? Instead of, you can just simply take action on this, take notes, please take some actionable steps, and you'll literally just change finally the way in which you operate. You can finally beat procrastination like 85-90% of the time. You might not be perfect, but you might not be perfect. We're not perfect. Only God is perfect, right? But point is, you can definitely get, let's say, if you mess up a lot of times, let's say you're disciplined only like 20% of the time, you can definitely get up to 80, 85, 90% of the time. That's huge, right? I mean, yeah, that's literally amazing. And you can build standards, and it's so much better. Now, what's the plan? What do we do? What are some action steps, right? You can take. So number one is you gotta write on a piece of paper. And I actually, when I thought of this, I was thinking about, okay, I gotta give to the guys, to my guys, this action step. But I was thinking not to do it myself, which is kind of silly. So obviously I will do it too, right? And I gotta put on a video how I did it as well. Okay, so as you see, the desk here and the paper, the state you feel right now is not the same state that you will have once you do the thing and get in flow state. By the way, I put it on my one of my as one of the things I gotta do today in my to-do list. So as you see here, I think though it's vice versa, it's mirroring or something like that. I don't like that. Anyway, you get the point. I wrote it in there so that I don't forget, and I'll put a video or something so that I show that you gotta write on a piece of paper that, look, this understanding this mindset, and put it on your desk, that the state of boredom and of I don't feel like it that you feel right now is not the same state that you will feel once being in flow state, doing the thing that you are procrastinating on. Because once you do get this transition and finally do the thing that you didn't feel like doing, but it is the task that you gotta do, that is your productive work, you understand that even if you don't feel like it, once you work on it for a minute, two, three, five, you will actually start getting in flow state and you'll actually like doing the thing in the first place, right? So you get your foot in the door through this stuff and you don't allow this dumb stuff of, but I don't feel like it. Yeah, I know I gotta do the thing, but man, I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like eating healthy. I don't feel like making this video. I don't feel like studying. I don't feel like making this whatever assignment or so and so on, you might say. But then through this mindset, it leaves you up with no excuse because it's no longer the truth. And we kind of understand this, but on the moment, if you don't have something to remind you of this, you'll basically most likely procrastinate. But that's the thing. We got to eliminate these excuses from the mind with the truth. And it's like yeah, it's simply that is the truth. Next thing is your environment, and I don't want to just give you some dumb stuff like you might have heard on the internet. Let's give some actual practical steps that you can do in the same room with the same tasks, but just differently, so that you finally don't procrastinate. So what I found is that, okay, when you wake up 1 to 2 hours earlier than you usually do, there's 0% chance that you'll procrastinate. You just don't wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. For doing that task and you just randomly scroll on the internet. You just won't do that, right? It's just not gonna happen. So you'll 100% therefore get your work done. And that's the beautiful thing. Even if you do mess up, which hopefully you don't want to, but even if you do mess up later in the day and you watch do some stuff that is not the healthiest habits ever and so on, you still obviously you'll get better over time, so you'll overcome that. Point is, you got your work done in the morning. So even if you kind of wasted some time and all that stuff in the evening, which let's say was supposed to be the time in which you needed to work on, either way the work would not be done because you wasted that time, and like you usually perhaps do, like I used to do. But then once you actually start to wake up 1 to 2 hours earlier, or at least half an hour earlier, and then 1 hour earlier, 2 hours, I don't know, something like that, and you just complete your work, then well, it's so much better. And that's the thing, you changed a bit the environment, because at that specific time, even in the same place, your room, let's say, you won't have people distracting you. You won't wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. and just randomly start scrolling on the internet. You just won't do that. You will have the set intention. You wake up and you start the day then for that specific purpose and goal of working on the task, on the goal. You just won't, trust me, you won't procrastinate. Try it for yourself and see. It's so good. Because I literally started to do this because I woke up a bit later, let's say at 7, compared to, in the recent times, unlike before, because I tried to change a bit my schedule and see, okay, how is working at night, even in the evening, and having more time there after school and stuff to work on my productive tasks. Let's say, how is that feeling compared to that? But then I recently made a change again, and then finally waking up at 6 again a.m. And it's so much better. You just get so much more work done, and you feel also more confident because you just put all this work in, and you have time to prepare for that and the other things that you gotta do before you go to your job or school or meet other people and so on. And you're prepared, you're ready before the other people just woke up, the more case majority. And you can just complete your work, man. You have 1 to 2 hours of work. Just go and do that thing. And also, right after you sleep, it will be after you sleep, right when you wake up, you'll feel so much better, because when you sleep, your body regulates things in your body. You have your mind regulates your hormones and your mind, and you feel so much more peace. You have way more discipline also, because you're not all over the place like scrolling on internet and all that stuff. You just woke up. You have way better energy levels, or at least potentially. If you don't feel like oh man, I don't know, I don't feel energized, maybe just go to sleep again. No, don't do that, because you need either way a couple minutes, maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes to transition from kind of sleepy state to more alert. But once you do that, you'll actually have a lot more energy. You gotta understand this as well. And then you just put those 1 or 2 hours of work in. You get the video done, you get the studies done. It'll be so much better. You have no distractions, and you'll be in a way better state to work, compared to that after school or after job. Your brain, you have brain fog, and you have literally your brain is clouded with just and it's tired. You just want to take a break and so on, right? And also, that's another thing, don't eat right ahead, because when you eat those carbohydrates from different foods like grains, bread, cereal, and so on, foods that have carbs, they just make you have brain fog, right? Just eat them later, or just eat healthier, whatever. Point is, when you don't eat and just do your work first, your brain will be way sharper. You'll be able to think way clearer, and also it will be make you more disciplined because you're not as sluggish. You have more energy. You're sharper. You're better in terms of your performance. So you just use these tips, and they'll massively help you, like it helped me. I remember I tried this in the last days. I think maybe 2 days ago or something. I started waking up again at 6 a.m. I didn't eat anything. I was thinking about that. What if I do this? But then I just said, nah, let's just work first thing. And yeah, woke up, worked right ahead pretty much. Well, after going to the bathroom, whatever. And man, I just completed such an amazing work. I think scripted this video, right? And I realized, oh wow, I actually made this script so much better. I don't know if you see the difference between this and the other videos, but I saw that in the making of the video, man, the it was so much more valuable. I put so much more interesting stuff in it, let's say, or in a more interesting, even more valuable way. The plan for the video was so much better. I worked so much more effectively simply because woke up earlier, no food, got straight away into working, and yeah, it just works. I mean, you don't have people distracting you at that time, you don't have any of that stuff, you just go and focus, and you just go and work. And the next thing that you need to understand is exactly what are you working towards. Set a clear goal, or set a clear intention. Because so many people have too much of one thing, even if it's somewhat clear. You kind of, oh yeah, you kind of want to get to this goal, but maybe it's too many aspects. Just try to simplify it. I read this book by Gary Keller. It was a recommendation from someone I watch on YouTube, and I read this book, The One Thing. And man, it's so good. I know it sounds simple, but you read it and you finally start to understand. Yeah, so many of the things we do are just not necessary, right? And Gary Keller says in his book, The One Thing, was the one thing that you can do that if you do, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary. So just simply try to simplify all this stuff and give yourself only like 1 or 2 free tasks max instead of like 10, 15, 20, for example, right? Because you just, so many less things that you think actually matter, and you focus on those, and then you simplify everything, and also you won't have as much resistance. You'll want to get into work better and more, because once you do have all these, you don't really understand what exactly you're working towards, or you kind of have an idea, but you didn't clarify it. What do I need to work on exactly, so that once you go and do the thing, you wake up, you actually understand, okay, oh yeah, I gotta work on this task, instead of just some whatever. Let's say you study, you don't even know, I mean, let's say you know the subject, but you don't know, okay, how to study effectively, how to do this now. Let's say you put some tasks in place. Okay, first of all, I read these paragraphs. I take some notes. I put some bullet points. What are the most important things based on the stuff I highlight? Okay, I do this for example. That's just an example, right? Some actual practical steps of what you will do, so that it's way more simpler. So that when you think about doing the thing, you don't have these thoughts of resistance. I don't really feel like doing it, because you don't know how to do it effectively, so that it takes less time, and so on. There's many reasons to this, but you actually understand, okay, it's crystal clear what I gotta do, what are the steps, and then just go and do them, right? For example, it's so much easier, so much better, because so many people just don't have this, and they struggle with this, and they don't get into the habit, into doing that thing, because they just don't understand, okay, what exactly do I need to do, and their mind is clouded. You gotta simplify the thing. And if you need more help with this, on how to break your bad habits and finally feel way better and not procrastinate, but do your work and be disciplined, send me a message on Instagram and let's talk. Let me help you out. I'm Sebastian. Remember, we're limitless because we never peak if we so choose to. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.